Welcome back to the show. Yeah. Hello, millions and millions of fans. Welcome to Calling It Like It Is, where we talk about all kinds of sports as long as you're called the Golden State Warriors. And I was going to wait a couple games to do a pod after Steph's injury, and guess what? It's been a couple of games. So let's do the pod. I was going to wait till after tomorrow's game, but he might come back. So either way, it'll be very telling whether he sits out tomorrow or plays. But talk about telling for the last two games. They start their road trip, and this is where your $50 million a year huge middle of the season trade, if it wasn't for Doncic, it would have been the biggest trade of the year by far. My voice just cracked. This is where you need your $50 million a year guy to come through. And if you've listened at all, post Butler trade, I just want one 35-point game from you, Butler. One game where you bring it home offensively, scoring offensively. I don't want to hear assists. I don't want to hear setting screens. I want points. 35 minimum. And he couldn't do it yet again. Couldn't do it against the Heat. That was his coming back home game. Hold on, let me see how many. I forget how many points he had against the Heat, but that was really a sad state of affairs. That's right, coming back against the Heat. Here's what you guys are missing. He gives you 11 points. Ugh, disgusting. And then, but okay, so they got blown out that game. The Warriors got blown out against the Heat. I get that. That shit happens. But you know what doesn't happen? The Warriors' first game of the road trip against the lowly Hawks. I mean, they're lowly, okay? They're below 500. They're going to make the playoffs in the East, but they're below 500. They're lowly. You don't have Curry. You're fully healthy other than that. Butler, what does he give you again? 25 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Solid game. Solid. Totally. Absolutely solid. You cannot argue with 25 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. Let's see what his percentages were, because that actually is super, super huge. Okay, well, so he was 7 for 15. I swear the dude does not shoot more than 15 shots in a game. He's 1 for 7 on threes. So that sucks. That sucks. That sucked. You can't go 1 for 7 on threes. That's horribly inefficient. You were a negative. He probably was a negative player on the court. A plus minus. He was in the minus. I'm guessing. Could be wrong. But so 25 point being, he gave you 25 points against the Hawks. Butler, if you just got me to that magic 35-point number that I've been just wanting to see from you once, can you give me 35 like a $50 million a year man? Can you give me 35 points? The Warriors lost by 9 points. If he would have given you 35, which is not asking the fucking world, they would have won that game. Agreed that you can't be giving up 124 points and expect to win any game. That's ridiculous. But I also say, score 10 more points, Butler, and fucking win the game. God damn. And then your homecoming against the Heat. Your glorious homecoming. Oh, you guys don't know what you're missing. I'm smarter than you. I'm better at basketball. It was all me. Had nothing to do with Pat Riley or anything. I brought you to 2 finals. It's me. Okay. Butler, obviously, want to torch him back in Miami, and you score 11 points. You shoot the ball 12 times. Ooh, 12 whole shots. And you're 0 for 2 from 3. He hasn't taken over one game since he's been a Warrior. And now they don't even have like a stellar record. When they were 9-1 with him, that was stellar. Now it's good. It's really good. It's really good. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. Of course it's not bad. It's really good. It's not stellar, though. It's not awesome. Should I say stellar one more time? It's not stellar, though. It's just not stellar. It's not stellar. Let me also just read off, because I know what it's going to be around, but not exactly. How many shots Butler has taken in the last 5 games for the Warriors, okay? 16 shots, 13 shots, 15 shots, 15 shots, 12 shots. Dude. Okay, so Curry's injured and you guys are going on the road trip. You shot 15 shots the game before with a healthy Curry. With Curry out and you're on the road and down by 9, you still only shoot 15 shots? What the fuck is going on? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. There's something... Draymond Green has got to get on him for that, or the coaching, or what the fuck is going on? Like, I don't get it. And okay, all this just goes to show, though. So tomorrow will be very telling because Curry supposedly is coming back. We know he's gonna come back. We know he's not done for the season. Okay, we at least know that. And I think or maybe I haven't done a pod since the MRI results came back all good, as in no broken ass. So he might come back tomorrow. But this just goes to show, dear sweet Lord, he's the most important player maybe of all time. And here's what I might rest my case on. When Michael Jordan, and this is such blasphemy because no one is a bigger Jordan fan than me, but I'm just saying it because it's just crazy and we only live this life once. And I'm going to say crazy things like when Jordan played baseball, or retired and played baseball to go play baseball after their first three-peat, the Bulls were damn good for those 2 years. They made the playoffs those 2 years. They were really, really good. I don't know the exact specifics, but they were like a top 3 seed both years. I think they made it to the Eastern Coast, the Eastern Finals, East Coast Finals. I mean, they were damn fucking good. You take Steph off this team, even with Butler. Like, okay, imagine before trade. Take Steph off the team. So you've got Draymond Green running your offense. Now he's like the point guard. And Wiggins is your number 1. Well, we already saw it. Here's the thing. Curry goes out. They have the worst record in the league. I forgot about that. When he broke his finger, only 5 games in, so the whole season's ahead of him several years ago. So we get to see what it was like, or what it would be like if you just took Curry off of a amazing team. Well, I guess Clay was out too. That's right. Clay was out as well. Okay, so that's not a complete nuts to apples comparison. But still, though, you take Curry out and the Warriors get the number 1 pick. If you took Curry off this team post Jimmy Butler trade, well, you saw the first 2 results. Loss. Second one, they lost by fucking 30 points. It's just, you'd like to think if it was Wiggins, I understand. Like, of course, duh, you're gonna get beat. But This is when I thought when you lose by 9 and Butler gave you 25 points. This is when I thought, okay, this is the game that Butler gives you those 10 extra. And when the second game on the road trip is against the Heat in Miami, Jimmy Butler's homecoming after he was pissed at him all season long and basically gave him a fucking middle finger and said, fuck you on his way out. Don't you want a giant, well, fuck you when you come back? And he just shit the bed. Like woke up and there's fucking piss and shit everywhere. And he's like, it's 11 points. I don't know. I ate too much the night before and I don't know. Got really hammered. That was a shit the bed reference. But yeah, anyways, we'll see what it's like when Curry gets back. And now I told you how everything's so clumped up at the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 spots in the West, in the playoff picture. Well, now the Warriors lost the 2 in a row. They're out of the 6th seed, so they don't control their own. Well, they're not in the playoffs right now as it stands. They're in the play-in, and it looks like that's because the Clippers have the tie beater over them. So I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs unless Curry comes back, and because I think the Clippers are going to. I don't think the Clippers are going to shit the bed. I think the Clippers are. There's 10 more games in the season. I think they're going to end it on 8-2 at least 8-2, and they're tied with the Warriors. So the Warriors to beat the Clippers would have to go 9-1. That's not happening. So they're not going to beat the Clippers. The only thing I could see the Warriors going 8-2, 7-3, especially if 7-3, 8-2, especially if Curry gets back. Gets back tomorrow. But they could. I don't think they're going to pass the Clippers, but I do think there's a chance if they go 7-3, 8-1 or 8-2, that they could pass like the Lakers or the Grizzlies or the Lakers or Grizzlies. Yeah, Lakers or Grizzlies are falling, man. What a weird West. Because you don't want to be in the play-in, obviously. I mean, like, the Suns are the 11 seed, so they're out of it completely right now. But if they get in as a play-in, they've got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant on their team. Bradley Beal. Like, if he's healthy, it's, and Bradley Beal. You don't want to have to play them in a one-game winner take all game. The Butler really, really screwed the Warriors over by not getting 35 points against the Hawks. I won't give him the worst shit for the 11 points against the Heat, because it looked like that was over by halftime and the Warriors just couldn't stop them. And no one else could score on the Warriors, so it is what it was. It was what it was. But you just give us 10 more points, and we win that game against the Hawks. And you got to do that, Butler. So I'm pissed at him for that. Otherwise, let's see. This weekend is the Sweet 16, which this channel will cover down to the absolute minute detail, as long as it's Michigan State Spartans, which they are in the Sweet 16 tomorrow. I don't know any of the players' names. I just know that my entire family is obsessed with Michigan State. So by that fact, I am obsessed with Michigan State. I just don't know anything about the team. I just know they're in the Sweet 16, and I know that Texas Tech just beat Arkansas in a nail-biter overtime win that was pretty awesome. And what else with the tournament with March Madness? Maryland had that awesome last-second buzzer-beater shot to beat, I forget But it doesn't matter because they lost today and they're out. So that's how fast the tournament, the March Madness tournament, happens. Maryland's riding so high, and they're already gone and forgotten about because they lost today. Well, okay. I will talk to you, gals and guys, later. Go Warriors and Spartans.